All right, good evening, everyone. I can see that lots of people are joining now, so I'm just going to give everyone a few seconds to get in before we start. And while you're jumping in, before I do the welcome and introductions, as you're jumping in, you'll see a little chat box as well. If you can just drop in where you're from, where you're joining the call from as well. So it'd be great to see. We've got loads of people joining, and people joining from all over as well. So if you can just jump in and note where you're joining in. Right, so let's have a look and see where we've got people joining from. So we've got people joining from London, a few from London, Kuwait, Oman, more from London, from South Africa. Looks like we've got a lot coming in from London. So great to have everyone, and I'm sure more people will be joining as well. Anyone who doesn't join, though, tonight will get a recording. So we'll make sure that everyone hears from the judges. All right. So I'm going to, let's see where else. Kenya. All right. So we've got some not just from South Africa, but also other parts of Africa. So Kenya, Spain as well. Oman. All right. Okay, great to see that. Oh, Dubai coming in as well. Someone else from Spain. So keep putting those in so we can see where you're joining from tonight. But I'm going to kick off. So welcome to tonight. Thanks everyone for your time. My name's Rebecca Pretorius. I head up Crimson in South Africa. I'm based in Johannesburg. So it's good to see so many of you on the call tonight. That's really exciting. I'm just going to quickly share my screen with you. All right. Okay, so let's kick off. I think certainly the first thing I'd like to say is to welcome everyone. So welcome students. We've had such a great response to the competition. We've got over 1,000 registrations. So amazing students, registering from the event for all over the world. So that's been really, really great to see the interest from everyone. And then a welcome to our judges tonight as well. Thank you so much for giving up your time, especially on a Friday evening as well. And we look forward to hearing from you tonight as well. We've also got Henry, who's quietly behind the scenes tonight, who will be taking any questions from you specific to the competition that he can answer off. So he'll be answering those throughout the call too. So whatever you need, you can just drop in. You'll see a little Q&A box on the toolbar in front of you. If you've got any questions, please put those in. If there's time at the end and the judges can stay on for those minutes, then I'll make sure that we can get a question or two out to them as well, that they can give their expertise and feedback on as well. So pop in any questions that you have in terms of that you want the judges to answer. I'm not saying we'll be able to get to all of them, but certainly put them in and we'll see what we can do. And any questions around the competition, like I say, we've got Henry from the case comp team who will be able to answer those off for us tonight. All right, so thanks very much, everyone. Also, just before we kick off, I just want to thank our principal partner, of course, Tiger Global Management, and of course our official sponsor for the event, PricewaterhouseCoopers. So thanks to both of those teams, we were able to run this very, very cool event. All right, I'm going to jump right in and introduce our judges. So great to have such an amazing panel representing our specific region. So across broad areas, really, UAE, UK, and in Europe, and then of course South Africa and broader Africa as well. So a really great panel for a really broad area. So good to have you. So I'm just going to start by introducing Janine, who we have on the line. So Janine is an MBA grad and an investor with Ice Angels. So Ice Angels, love the name as well, but do really, really interesting things. Largest group of angel investors in New Zealand, helping with young startups on their journey as well. So lots of experience and knowledge, around entrepreneurships and startups. So really great to have that kind of expertise with us, both tonight and obviously for the competition as well. Janine is based in London and is also a company director, so working in the kind of finance team, managing accounts for many entities across Crimson Education. Janine's also, I don't know where you find the time, Janine, but Janine is in fact going to be continuing with her studies and has secured a place at Cambridge, doing a master's in social innovation. So welcome, Janine. It's great to have you. And then we've got Mo Shahada, who's from Dubai, based in Dubai, right, Mo? And Mo is.
I'm actually based in Muscat, in Oman.
Oh, you're based in Moscow. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah, okay.
Great. In Oman. Okay. All right. Awesome.
Same time zone, anyways.
Okay, you're right. So Mo's the CEO of Kazan Oilfield Services in Oman, highly experienced oil and gas exec with 20 years of experience in the industry. So the great thing about our panel tonight, lots and lots of experience in business, which is really great for us. Mo is just super well versed in operations, as the leader of a company that covers broad areas from rigs, managing transportation across ports, airports, oil fields, and so on. Lots of experience in business development, really passionate about business development, and certainly developing meaningful customer relations, which we know is the key tenet to all businesses, or should be. So thanks, Mo. Really good to have you here tonight as well. And Reggie, I won't say last, certainly last but not least, and I'm not at all biased, being in South Africa, introducing the South African judge, but good to have you tonight, Reggie. So Reggie, based also in Johannesburg in South Africa. Reggie heads up Pearson in South Africa and the entire Africa region as well. So a really big remit. Reggie also really experienced across sales, marketing, general management, and has lots of insight in strategic management methodologies. Reggie's managed many teams, big teams, over those 25 years as well, and has won top awards, through developing great sales teams as well, and maintaining and exceeding company objectives for Pearson. Good to have you tonight, Reggie, as well. I also say a lot of what I learned about sales I learned from Reggie. So very good to have you here tonight. All right, so I'm going to you can just shout out, maybe say a quick hi as well, ahead of your answering your question tonight. So I'm going to be posing a few questions to the judges, and they'll be answering those. Sorry, I'm trying to move my bar out the way. Sorry, just bear with me, my screen. There we go. Oh. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start by asking, I'll start by asking Janine. So Janine, maybe say a quick hi to everyone tonight and just introduce yourself, and then I'll put a question to you for you to share with us.
Hi everybody, lovely to be here, and I'm excited to be a judge in this first competition for the Tiger Global. My brief there is a little bit out of date because I actually graduated from Cambridge at the beginning of this year, just before lockdown, which was quite lucky because in my previous degree in Masters, I was in the wrong country and I'd never been to a graduation ceremony before. So I thought save the best till last and end up going to Cambridge for it. So I'm glad we squeezed that in just before we went into lockdown. So I'm looking forward to hearing our region's sort of presentations for the case over the next couple of weeks, and I'll look forward to hearing your questions as well.
Thanks for that. That's a great intro, and certainly quite a lot to squeeze in before the lockdown. So, so well done on that. All right. So, Janine, can you just share with us what's the one piece of advice you would give to someone starting out in their career, and someone who's worked in startups and advising and guiding? What's that piece of advice you would give?
I think the most important thing, particularly in a sort of an uncertain environment like we're going to have over the next few years, is to be a problem solver. And to be a good problem solver, you need to seek out areas of pain. So often areas where other people maybe avoid digging in to see if they can solve them. So if you can find areas that cause people trouble and be the solution, the person that comes up with ways on how to solve those, I think that's the right way to start. My phrase is to be a learn-it-all, not a know-it-all. And also, I think particularly important in this kind of uncertain environment is for young people to learn how to be resilient and to actually learn and be positive about failure, as opposed to that sort of affecting you in a negative way going forward.
Great advice, as as we have a whole hundreds of students that are preparing to set out even in this competition. Mo, I'm just going to jump to you. If you can say a quick hi to everyone, introduce yourself, and then I'll pose a question to you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for having me today. It's a great pleasure to be as a judge among heavy-duty judges with me, Janine and Reggie. Well, thanks for having me with you guys. I am excited, and I can't wait to look at the cases, to be honest with you. It just takes me back to when I used to be a student, and how much competitive this can be, and how much we're all going to learn from this. So thanks for having me again.
Thanks, Mo. We're looking forward to your input into the students' comp. Just Mo, if you can tell us, what do you look for? I mean, you've hired lots of people in your time. What do you look for when you're hiring? And how do you think students can develop those qualities now through the extracurricular and activities they're involved in?
Okay, well, my selection is pretty, it gets tense sometimes in the way we pick people. We're in oil and gas, and it's pretty tough. In services, we service operating companies on a daily basis. Oil and gas is such a global industry that, they gotta have the can-do attitude. And candidates gotta differentiate themselves from their abilities to do things, and be very much determined and persistent, because this is the nature of the oil and gas. Now, in terms of what students or about to graduate candidates, I would definitely encourage them, and we're doing this a lot during summer in my organization, and even from my previous organizations, is go get some internship, and never say no. Go to the field, have a look at what we can do, because the oil and gas industry is always in need of young talent to come and be very much innovative. So if any candidate thinks of themselves being much innovative, and they can think outside the box, because oil field can be a commodity business, but with all the challenges going on nowadays, you got to be really thinking outside the box. So go out there, check out the oil field. It needs smart people to extract that barrel of oil faster to the pipeline.
Thanks, Mo. Great advice there. I like the can-do attitude in a volatile industry like oil and gas, or in fact any industry, right?
Absolutely.
Reggie, and for you, what do you like most? Oh, sorry, actually, before I do that, just to say hi to everyone, give an introduction to yourself, and then I'll ask you a question.
Yeah, hi everybody, and to Janine and to Mo. It's great to have you on this exciting journey. My name is Reggie Mukoti. I'm based in Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm working for Pearson. I've been with Pearson for almost over 15 years in the education space, but obviously my experience comes from various industries as well. But I must say, it's been a very, very good pleasure for me to be in this space, the education space, which is close to my heart. I've been trying to leave the space, but it's been very, very difficult because obviously it talks to developing people, making sure that you see them flying and also achieving their dreams. And so I'm very, very passionate about entrepreneurship. I think is the only way we'll be able to solve the problem that we have worldwide in terms of unemployment.
Awesome, thanks, Reggie. And you've covered some of that already, but if I had to pin you down to say what's the kind of thing you like most about your job, what would you say? I know you've mentioned impact on students, but what's the thing you like most about your job?
I think my job offers a wide variety of opportunities for others. It's not about me, it's about other people making sure that they prosper and they become better people going forward. And it also brings the variety of work and a lot of challenging projects to make sure that we get content to every student, irrespective of what they are studying. But it's a strong and cohesive team that make it possible. About my job, it's not about me, it's about me working with the team, making sure that the team collaborates toward the same objectives, making sure that everybody knows what is it that you want to do. And I must say, I'm very truly blessed to be working in education space where I can be part of the society, where I can be able to make sure and make sure that the society is solving their own problems. As I've already spoken about unemployment that we are having and experiencing post-COVID. So it's up to the youth to come up with other ideas and to make sure that they, instead of looking for work, they create employment for others.
Thanks. I love the focus. I think that all of you have given there really just on problem solving. So hopefully tonight we've got lots of problem solvers joining us as well. All right, Janine, I'm going to jump back to you. If you can, what do you think is the most important skill for young people to possess today? We hear a lot about, new skills of the future and everything else. What do you think is that key skill for people to possess in today's job market, and how do you think students involved in something like this, the Tiger Global Case Competition, can develop that skill?
Okay, it's a good question. I think that the young people that I work with, particularly at Crimson over the last 6 years, Jamie and Chandra were just teenagers when they started Crimson, and I've been really impressed with all of the young people that work there, very ambitious and driven. And I think the most sort of defining characteristic about the people that achieve and do well is that they're very curious. So they ask a lot of questions and they seek advice from experienced people. It's also important in being curious to learn to be accurate in your work. So it's an important skill to develop, requires questioning, research, attention to detail, and looking for anomalies, which I think helps. So a case like this, or any kind of work or project experience, or super curriculars, as we call them at Crimson, will help the students involved in the case competition to develop those skills and learn about how to, deal with the project from start to finish, which I think is really useful. And then there'll also be that feedback aspect as well at the end of it, which will be useful as well.
Thanks, Janine. Great answer. I love the word curious, and also know that students will gain the benefit of a judging panel with your level of experience. So thanks for that. And then Mo, tell me a little bit about what you like most about your job. I mean, we've heard from Reggie in the education kind of space. This is a very kind of different, corporate, a different environment. What do you like best about it?
Every day is a new day. In oil and gas industry, every day is a new day, and you got to adapt to it and think about how you're going to handle if it's an operations issue, or if it is now with the coronavirus, we got to deal with it, be more competitive to keep the work going safely and and be productive at the end of the day. So in oil and gas in general, no matter what is your job, if you're a junior, if you're a CEO of a company, every day is a new day, and that's what keeps lots of people gets interested in the oil and gas industry. But it's so exciting, and it's different problem solving, and it keeps you going. Never a dull moment in oil and gas. So that's why I've been doing this for 23 years.
It sounds very exciting, Mo. And then Reggie, just a last one for you as well. So what values are you committed to? I mean, you've alluded to, your love and passion of education, but, what are the values that are important to you, and why are they important to you? Oh, you're on mute, Reggie, sorry.
Yeah, I think before I answer that, I'll start by saying your values are the things that you believe are important in the way you live and you work. A good life is all made of values. What type of person you are depends on the values that you have and you have acquired over years. So according to me, a person learns the values according to his surroundings. So here are some of the most important values to me. The most value that I value is discipline. I think it is most underrated value in human's life, but it is so important. Only a well-disciplined person can manage each and everything efficiently and can grow in life. So I think you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined if you want to prosper in life. So I think that's one of the values that has made me to prosper in life. You have to be disciplined. You have to follow the routine. So I would advise most students or every individual that discipline is very, very important. And then obviously the second important value for me is accountability. So obviously you have to be accountable for your actions. So you need to know that every action that you take, there's going to be repercussions, and you have to be accountable. And accountability doesn't mean that you only account when things are going right. And so even when things are going wrong, you still have to account for whatever that is going. So those two for me are the most values that I treasure and I live by on a daily basis.
Thanks. I think that's a great note to end the kind of questions on for the judges, and important for certainly the students on the line to think about as they kind of start out as well. What kind of life do you want to live, and what are those values you're kind of living it by as well. And I see that Henry has done well answering the questions that we do have there, but maybe I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, and just and anyone can answer this, but just before I go over some key dates for students, just ask you what advice would you give to the students? So they've got a bit of work ahead of them in a short space of time, and I'll run through those key dates now. But what advice would you give to them, ahead of presenting? Certainly hoping that we see that it would be great if we saw a winner coming out of our region. So that would be great. So what do people need to do to win this for our EMEA region?
Okay, I think I'll jump into this. I think with anything in life, I think most students, the first question that you have to ask yourself is, what problem are you trying to solve? That would be my advice.
Thanks. Yeah, certainly something they should explore. Anyone else want to chip in there? Janine?
I think it's that, of course, it's always finding that problem is the important thing. But then for really creative answers, I think you need to do a little bit of research on the actual industry, the stage of the company that's in the case. So it's about doing that sort of background work and digging deeper. So it's not a surface type of issue. And I think that a winner is likely to be somebody that comes up with a problem that nobody else identifies, and a creative solution or innovative solution to that problem.
Thanks. Mo, do you want to add to that at all?
Just think outside the box.
Yep. Yep, agree. I think great advice, and thanks so much for just sharing some insights into, your business, and how you giving everyone on the call tonight some advice. I'll share my screen again and just jump into some key dates for our students. Just the first date there. So the regional case released on Saturday. So obviously just around the corner, and then not a long time. But then, of course, the submission by Saturday, September 12th. So just a week. So lots for students to get through during that time as well. And then we'll announce those regional finalists on Monday. And then I think certainly what lies ahead is really fun for everyone that's going to be involved. And obviously that's where we obviously have the judges super involved. So the actual kind of finalist teams presenting to the panel of judges live. So a few hours on Saturday, September 19th. So we really look forward to that one. I really look forward to seeing what comes out of our region as well. Super excited, and then hope to see our region, even come out on top at the end of that as well. So I think very exciting dates ahead. All right, so we've got a couple of minutes. I think, oh, there we go. Henry has answered the last of the questions. So everyone can go away and enjoy their Friday night now, or the rest of it, wherever you are in the world. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight, and a special thanks to Janine, Mo, and Reggie for joining, sharing some of your insights with us. And we look forward to seeing you again on the 19th.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to it. Thanks. Have a great day.
All the best to everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All the best.
Bye.
Bye.